Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends from the fabulous Raymond Vineyards kitchen. This is JCB Live and another great wine style today. Our fabulous friend Rafael and Mr. Patrick Egan, who really wanted to help today because he's preparing for his wedding and he's trying to impress his wife. So he's going to do some very unique things. So the theme of today, which is so exciting for me because this is kind of my favorite way of enjoying food and eating, is amuse-bouche. So we're going to show you things which are quite easy to prepare in the kitchen. You have friends coming over, you don't want to do chips, you want to be a little more involved. This is what we're going to be doing. So to accompany this, because no inspiration comes if there's no wine in our glass, we will be starting with the fabulous Macon Village screw cap, as you've noticed. Very easy for us to open in the kitchen. From the famous historical Bouchard Ainé et Fils House of Bone, founded in 1755. This is actually as well our new packaging. We're so thrilled to show it to you. You could see the beautiful Macon Village in italic and the powerful gold of Bouchard Ainé, which is one of the first commercial house ever in the history of Burgundy. And you know what is so cool is Macon Village is really that little town of Macon next to Puy-Fusset and adjacent to the famous village of Chardonnay. There is, Rafael, a village called Chardonnay in Burgundy, and this is where it's from. So maybe we have a toast and we get started. You're going to tell us what we're doing.
So today we're going to be preparing, with help of Jean-Charles and Bouchard, of course, 3 easy and quick appetizers for any event that you have in a home. So we're going to do, like I said, 3 different appetizers. We're going to do steak tartare.
Ooh!
Which is, that's your favorite.
And I'm going to tell you all about the history of it because there's a big history, and you could see America has had an influence on this one too.
Yeah. So the next appetizer, we're going to be making a shrimp cocktail, super easy and simple. And the third, we're going to do a bone marrow and a char crostini. So they'll be delicious, which is Patrick's going to be preparing that one. JC's going to be making, we put a team together today. We're just going to be making the cocktail sauce. So he's going to show you how to make it.
We're going to show you that everything is possible in life. Even the worst chef that we are, I don't speak for Patrick, I speak for myself. You could do it, and the sauce is going to be easy. So I think what we should do, if you don't mind, let's start with the shrimp cocktail. So
let's do that. Absolutely.
Then, meanwhile, we prepare the other, we can eat it. So what do you think of this wine?
The wine is stunning. It shows you that classic Macon Village. Clean, elegant, a beautiful lemon. It's bright, it's fresh, it's perfect with shrimp. I think we're in heaven.
We are in heaven. So let's get started. I'm going to start to make my lovely, fabulous cocktail sauce. So obviously, what is this?
This is homemade ketchup.
Oh!
Absolutely. How's the acid?
Don't be shocked. I taste everything. The acid is great, and there's a little bit of sugar in it, which is wonderful. So then, my favorite, this is an aphrodisiac. It works every time. Just give a call to Gina. She knows I have horseradish. I know you're dying to know what makes me so unique as far as my level of energy. Horseradish is a big part of it. Then from Léa and Perrin, you all know the sauce, the famous Worcestershire sauce. You remember when Donnell was making those amazing Bloody Marys? She used it. So I believe, Rafael, do I go 3?
Yeah, 3 splashes will be perfect.
2, 3. I mean, there's a lot of cocktail sauce. I think we have more cocktail sauce than we have shrimp, so we'll package it and go and sell it at the Oakville grocery. A little pepper, because you need that. It enhances the aphrodisiac aspect. I'm going to put a touch of salt, and luckily it was sugar because this was what I was looking for. I'm going to do a little bit of zest, Rafael, right?
Yes, you're gonna go all the way around to the lemon, so you're gonna get the white part because it gets bitter.
Oh, it gets better.
Bitter.
As a very famous magician we know, named J. Alexander, it keeps getting better. Look at that. So you don't need a knife, huh? You don't want the juice.
No, you'll cut it and put a little bit of juice in it. Oh, perfect. It's gonna keep it
But
perfect.
do you see that? I'm doing it with both of my hands. To be expected, right? But what is showing you here is how beautiful.
And I always like the lime
this
and
lime
lemon
is
zest and
amazing.
stuff.
Yeah, what does the lime zest bring to a cocktail
It's gonna
sauce?
give a brightness and taste like you're gonna be able to taste in the back in your palate, like delicious.
So I'm going to do just a little bit of zest. We don't want to do too much, correct?
You can put a half lemon. It'll be delicious.
Look at this. Half a lime. There it is. And then, oh, thank you. You see, your chef has all kinds of tools that I'm sure you all have at home as well. I'm squeezing gently. It's like making Chardonnay. You don't want to squeeze too hard, so you don't want the skin to be part of it, but here we've obviously peeled the skin, so it doesn't matter. I'm going strong. Look at that. And then, dear friends, I'm going to be blending. My favorite activity. Look at this gorgeous juice.
Delicious.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to start a new brand. What about thinking of the Bouchard Ainé shrimp cocktail sauce, or maybe the Raymond Vineyards shrimp cocktail sauce? So where do those beautiful shrimp come from?
From Alaska.
Alaska, okay. So maybe, why don't you show us that beautiful
There we go.
decoration?
So
This is magic.
here it is. Just put like nice generous spoons right on top of the little ice cube that I make. See how beautiful it is?
Oh,
Look at that.
that's gorgeous. It's delicate. It's refined. How did you make this little ice cube?
I have a little secret. I crush the ice. What I do, I crush the ice, and then I put it right around the little mold that I have, and then put them in the back again in the
So the
freezer.
key, dear friends, is to crush the ice.
Yes.
Then you can obviously demold it nicely, and it makes this little cup. And you could use that as a cocktail with caviar as well.
It's beautiful.
Oh, that looks
So-
gorgeous. So simple.
You did it. Amazing. That's gorgeous. So Patrick's gonna start putting the Dijon mustard and bone marrow.
All right.
Please go ahead.
So this is the first bone marrow I've ever, so you have to give me through all the directions.
Okay.
First we need the
Patrick,
mustard.
we know you can do it. We have faith in you.
So just put a little bit of Dijon mustard in there.
And we're just going to slather it right on
Just a
top,
little bit,
right?
yes,
Just a little bit,
Dijon
huh?
mustard, yes. A little bit.
You could see, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick is shaking a little bit.
I'm
He's thinking he's almost on the altar.
Hey, I'll help you with a little bit of salt.
Here we are.
A little bit of salt,
The key moment is coming.
a
So,
little bit of pepper.
it's so fun to cook as well as a group. You see, Rafael is very clever. He recruited us to work, and we're enjoying it a lot. And it's fun to talk wine and food. And I want to engage us, Patrick, really, as you have this beautiful bone marrow.
So now you just gotta be generous with this.
Be generous, huh?
That.
Don't be
Put it
shy.
down. This is Raymond herb breadcrumbs, which is has a little bit of garlic, thyme, and the bread. And you just put them in the food processor.
And the garlic and the thyme, right from
everything,
here?
everything all together and parsley. So the parsley gonna give the brightness and
The beautiful green
the
color.
beautiful
see?
green. Yes.
It's gorgeous. So Patrick, you need a little more Macon. Dear friends, what I just want to share, it does not always take a $100 bill to enjoy great Burgundies. And I think it's important for all of us loving wine, loving to promote wine, loving to engage people on fine wines. This is a Chardonnay that is literally $10 to $12 on the shelf. It shows you history, heritage, an unbelievable packaging, reassurance, and an amazing wine.
With an incredible story. I mean, what I love about Bouchard, of course, is that you have the oldest house in Burgundy, as you said. So a fascinating story about how the wine trade began in Burgundy, thanks to what is a beautiful Chardonnay. It's distinctly French, right? There's nothing like that from California exactly. There's
right.
something magical which is in that Macon village, which gives you the essence of Burgundy, and yet still with a bright freshness that you can drink any moment.
And nothing from here at this price point. That's the cool part of it. Competitively priced, amazing juice, very crisp, very lemony, as you said, with a little bit of zest of green apple. In love with this wine. It's going to go not only very well with the shrimp, but as well with steak tartare. You know, the French are very known to enjoy steak tartare on a terrace of a cafe with a glass of white. The white, 90% of the time, is Macon Village. And now, with steak tartare, we must have Raymond Cabernet Sauvignon.
So this, in fact, friends, is what we call the R collection. So as we're talking about easy, simple, great things to do in the kitchen, this as well is the classic red wine from Raymond. Easy to drink, California appellation. It has great spice, it has great red fruits, you get a little bit of texture, but really at the same time it's a Cabernet that you can enjoy, drink, easy to go. That's a perfect summer Cabernet, I would describe it. You're looking at 2 wines today, which are perfect for the summer. Whether you're into whites or you're into reds, you're set. Texture, structure, fruit, but very simple, very elegant, very easy to enjoy.
Very well said. Very well said. So dear friends, I need to intervene for a moment. Because when we think steak tartare, what do we think about? Do we think the French, the Belgian people, the Swiss, the German, the American? There's a lot of stories. So go back 1,000 years ago when the Tartare, with the Mongol used to invade us. They used to have a lot of raw meat. This is how it started with the Tartare themselves. And then, obviously the Germans in Hamburg, they know to have invented the hamburger. You know, we could question that one. They started as well with raw meat. Then it became something very known in the US, specifically on the East Coast, and then the French obviously enjoyed steak à la tartare, means to the honor of the Tartare invaders. But in France, I need to confess again, we honor the Americans because we call it as well steak à l'américaine, meaning we love it. So depending if you like to add the egg or without the egg. So we will debate that in a second. So
this one we're gonna do without the egg.
okay.
So we're gonna do. So for the steak tartare, it's just we have a beautiful, nice Angus beef, and for the recipe, I have 1 shallot, finely diced, of course. I'll put a little bit of pepper in there. I like to make it separate so it's easy and so you can balance it out. You add it as needed. So simple. Next, I'm gonna do a nice, generous,
Dijon
mustard.
So this is, dear friends, the Oakville Grocery mustard. This time we have not used the Dijon mustard from Fallot. We purposely wanted to try how would the Oakville Grocery mustard behave within this amazing steak tartare. So, Rafael, a key important factor is people sometimes put the mustard on the side, but it is part of the blend.
It's part of I like to put it here, and this is part of the blend and all the mixture. So I'm gonna do a nice, beautiful, about a tablespoon of capers, chopped.
And those were dry capers, huh?
No, they're
Wet capers?
wet capers,
Okay.
yes.
Because I've used as well the dry caper surrounded with salt, which could be nice as well as a different flavor profile.
Next, I'm gonna do about half a tablespoon of chives, nice, finely diced. Just grab it, put them in there. It'll go in
I
there.
love the colors with steak tartare.
And then I'm gonna do some olive oil.
Aha. This is again the Oakville Grocery olive oil from Napa Valley. Obviously, chef moved it into his very practical little container.
And I'm gonna do about 3 splashes of Worcestershire.
So we used it for the shrimp cocktail and which is nice because actually for the aperitif we're going to have the amuse-bouche. We have it in the shrimp cocktail. We find it again in the steak tartare, so it's a good idea.
And then for this, I like to put at least half lemon zest and 1 lime. Also.
Okay, so what does it add? I'm going to give you a
It's
lime.
gonna add a nice brightness into the beef, and that's why it makes it so delicious. Because a lot of people, what they do, they just throw away the sometimes you. And I find that it's a really good way to use everything, not waste anything, right? So it's just I'm using the lemon zest the lime zest, and it balances it out, and you get a nice brightness
Yeah.
in the palate.
So tell us, Jean-Charles, is steak tartare something you would have at the table
Oh,
growing up?
absolutely. So everybody who comes to the house and to all the wonderful events we do at Raymond Vineyards, we have the shrimp cocktail. We have naturally the oysters because this is always phenomenal to have. And we have the steak tartare because Black Angus, phenomenal, you know, American raised Central Valley cow is insane. It has a lot of great fatness, even more than the traditional limousine from France. And I love the flavor profile. So I think on a crostini, like we're doing, is great because you have the olive oil, you have the texture, and I believe it amplifies the food. So 1 + 1 always has to equal 3 or 4. And I think the two together are really, really exciting. You have the mustard with the high notes, you have the capers, and you have that great richness, juiciness within that tartare that brings all the elements of the Cabernet you were describing.
Now she's gonna finish it with a nice salt, nice fresh cut pepper.
A tiny bit of sugar.
Oh, let's put that.
Ah, you know, it's always the secret,
Let's
right?
put a little bit of wine in here.
There you go.
Finally! Yes! And you know the Raymond family, the Raymond boys, who I really had the pleasure to do great hamburgers with, always added in the hamburger meat a little Cabernet from Napa Valley. So we've done that tradition, do you remember, on the famous Memorial Day weekend? And we're continuing, so.
So this is what the Dijon master is gonna do, emulsify and make it nice and tasty and deliciousness to that. And then what I like to do is I like to, now I got my, like, my, let's say my dressing, I should like to add it as I need it until you want it. See what you want it.
Look at this great density. Look at those colors. I mean, isn't it gorgeous? Really?
Then you can always add more salt, more pepper if it needs it.
And you know, for many people who are trying to be health conscious, this is actually a great appetizer. This is very healthy. It's red meat.
Very lean, in this case.
Exactly. And then you have the shrimp.
Now, this one she's gonna pan fry my crostinis real quick in olive oil because I like it. This fresh, beautiful olive oil, and that's it. And Patrick, your crostinis have been baking for how long? So at least 15, 20
Yeah,
minutes?
I think they're ready.
At 250. So this is the finished product of the bone marrow.
God, you've done a great job, actually. Look at that. He's done it.
What you can do right now, just grab them, scoop it out.
I love it because we, several of us in the kitchen right now, we all salivating. Donnell's tongue is as low as the ground, and Julia is already holding herself to the curtain because she wants to jump in. We all tempted. Because you know, what is so exciting is, with those wines as well, we salivate. With the cocktail sauce, it makes your guests really enjoy. And with the steak tartare, you're gonna see people are gonna go back and go back to it. And Rafael, how long does it take to put that together?
5 minutes?
Yeah.
From
that's
start to finish.
So you're very used to it. For someone like me, counting 3 times slower than you. So within 15 minutes, you know, you got to do something better for your guests. I mean, serving chips and dry olives is one thing, but preparing a few of those great appetizers makes the evening and the celebration so much special, because life is about celebration.
Absolutely.
We receive people at home, or we go to people's home, you bring something. You cannot bring something you defrost from your purchase in the grocery store. You have to make it special. And how long before you serve those, you could prepare those in advance?
You can prepare in advance, but I like to do almost like called a la menu,
Yeah.
because you make it get really
But
easy.
let's say an hour before is okay.
Yeah, now before, but I like it do like I said, a la menu, because I don't want my meat to get oxidized.
course.
They're oxidized
You want
with the
fresh,
liquid,
fresh.
fresh. Just toss it real quick and then it goes in the crostini, and then that's
So
it.
maybe what everybody does is you get changed, you take your shower before your guests arrive, and then you have everything ready. The last 15 minutes, boom, you attack.
And even for those of us who aren't having guests at the moment, we should be celebrating life at home together in the kitchen, and this is fantastic.
So glad you suggested that. This is time.
This is time.
This is time.
So then for the bone marrow, we're just gonna put it on the same plate because we're sharing. And these ones.
Are we sharing or this is just for Patrick?
That's
I was
right.
wondering for a while. Ooh.
So you want to cook the bone. The key of the bone marrow, you put the mustard,
Yeah.
salt, and it's very important to not put them in the oven at very high temperature. What you want to do is cook it slowly at least at 250 degrees
For how long?
for at least 10 minutes until
Okay.
you see everything.
So 250, 10 minutes, you just
10
leave it
minutes.
sit.
Let it sit. So like you see, it's still the color is so nice and bright
It's
on the
gorgeous.
persian that we put on the breadcrumbs. So it's exactly what you're looking for because if you put it like at a very high temperature, the actually what it's gonna do is gonna melt it and it's gonna the ashes with the bone, nothing else. But thank you so much.
Well, what about the cornichon on the side? Yeah, we're gonna put some cornichon because you know,
Yeah, take a
truly
little
French.
frosting maybe.
Those
some beautiful,
gurgle.
nice.
Aren't they good?
Little prawns, just right in the middle.
God, you were all about the visual.
Yeah, always.
We agree that the visuals are so important.
Presentation.
Yeah,
So
they
Patrick,
really
what do you
love
think
it.
about this wine and its evolution? I think it's showing better and better as we open it. I recommend, frankly, even though this bottle of wine is only $12 to $15, to open it a little while earlier because look, it's 30 minutes
It's
ago.
evolving, yeah, for sure. It's so much fun. We did a great winemaking blending session just yesterday, right? And Stephanie's always taught me the most difficult blend to do is often the California appellation. You really have to look for those great qualities you're looking for, and it's a miracle to put together such a beautiful wine at
Exactly.
$12 to $15. Cabernet, gorgeous.
And
Well, dear friends, let's get together. Show, where are the shrimps, by the way?
that's right next to you.
Oh, they had disappeared on us. Look how beautiful this is. Maybe a little Macon village. Dear friends, this is the picture of the century. You're going to realize we have so much fun. It was fun to prepare, but we're going to have an exhilarating time to actually enjoy it. To love,
Cheers.
passion, enjoyment, and quick things you can do in the kitchen that makes you look like a hero.
And please let us know if you like the recipe. We're more happy to share.
Do we really want to share?
Absolutely.
We're going to start selling those.
We should.
It's going to be $1 million.
Cheers.